Hey, welcome to Sean's Boosted Garage. Another quick tip coming at you here today. This one's all about how to sharpen a chisel. I got this one. I think I just found this chisel one time, but see it's got a ding in it right there. And anyways, I'm going to show you how I sharpen this. It's kind of bad enough that maybe you want to touch it with a grinder, touch it up with a grinder first or something. But anyways, I'm just going to try it with a stone. This is what I got for stone. It's just like a 2 grit. Like this is the finer grit. This is a heavier grit. So we'll start with a heavier grit, and I'll show you how I do it, and hopefully it'll help you out. Okay, so this is generally how I like to set my stone up. I just clamp it in the vise, and you don't got to do very hard. It's just enough to hold it. It's not going to go anywhere. I use WD-40. You can use motor oil, whatever you want, but you got to have some sort of lubrication on here, and get a black marker. I'll show you how this comes into play here in a minute. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to start with the heavier grit. Just give it a pretty good soaking with WD-40. And one important thing to do is when you're setting this up on the stone, you want to make sure you're not going this way too far or this way too far. You want to try to keep it flat. You want this angle to basically sit flat on the stone. So a little bit too much on here. So if you sort of rock it around a little bit, you should be able to feel the spot. So then I just do this. Now try to go all over the stone, because you don't want to, ideally you don't want to wear one spot in your stone. You want to try to keep it evenly worn if you can. So just stop and check and see how you're doing. So here's where the black marker comes into play. If you're not exactly sure how you're riding on the stone, you can just color it with black marker. Let that dry. I think I'll wipe the stone off too, just so the WD-40 doesn't wipe away the black marker. So you can see it's darkened down there. So now you can put it on there. You can do a couple swipes, take it off. Now you can see how the stone is cutting, or the path that the stone is cutting across the face. So then you can adjust your technique. Getting a little bit better. And also this spot here, it could also just be a low spot as well. So if it's not going away, just keep going, because you may have to take this. You may have to take this spot down start taking the colored part down. So it's coming. I don't know if you can see there too, you can see there's sort of a V pattern there that is sharpening. So I would definitely say this is a high spot over here and this is a low spot. So we'll keep going and see if we can get this down. And I think we'll go back to WD-40. It just helps the stone to cut better. Hopefully it doesn't wipe away my marker. So as you can see, it's coming along. Still sort of have that pattern there. That still seems to be a low spot there, so just keep going. That's coming. You can see this spot here too seems to be a bare spot. So as we chisel, or sorry, as we stone away this surface here, it should just all become even eventually across the face. You notice how I put my finger on it too, so I just do that to sort of helps me to keep it in the right, keep the chisel at the right angle. Just what works for me, but you may figure something else different. It's coming. The edge is getting better now. I get this pretty good sized ding here. I mean, it's going to take a lot of stoning to get rid of that, so you probably might want to touch this with a grinder, but this is just for demonstration purposes, just to show you how to sharpen a chisel, how I do it, and what works for me. So I don't know if I'm gonna get that out, at least not in this video. It may take some time. So yeah, coming along pretty nice there now. So say you had this side of the cutting face or the angled face to your satisfaction. Now you could flip the stone over to the finer grit and spray it down with some WD-40. This WD-40 helps to clean the stone too. So, do that. And we just continue on, same thing. Now, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but it's starting to give it a shinier finish. So you can keep going at that till you get a nice shiny face on it. And then what you're gonna notice as you go further into sharpening, you're kind of rolling. There's a bit of steel coming off, and it's gonna gather up at the back. So you take this flat side, and that's how you get rid of that burr. And you're not looking to do this. You want to keep it like that. If you do this, then you're putting an angle there. You don't want an angle there. You want that perfectly flat right out to the end of the cutting out to the sharp edge of the blade. Anyways, hopefully this gives you an idea how to sharpen a chisel. Like, this one needs a lot of work yet. Like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna take a grinder to this, or maybe a file. I'm not sure if a file will cut this or not, but something, because if not, it's just gonna take a lot of stoning. I mean, you're just removing fractions of a thousandth of an inch from stoning. So to get rid of that spot there, it would take quite a while. I'm not going to get into that. I just want to show you sort of the basics of how I do it, and the trick of using the marker to mark the face of it to see how you're sitting on the stone, whether you're too far this way or too far back that way. And it's just a good way of helping to keep that angled face sitting perfectly that you're perfectly following the angle of the chisel. Okay, well, hopefully you found that helpful. Remember, like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks very much. Bye.